Let's be honest, you don't always want to give your client designer access. They'll often change a class that affects the whole site, or they'll drop one section inside of another by mistake. There's too many variables a lot of times. So what would be ideal is to have the client be able to kind of build out their own pages using predefined sections that you create. So maybe it's an image and text side by side, or 3 column, and maybe one's a wide image, and they can add those sections to the page and put them in whatever order they would like and populate them with their own content. So that's the ideal world, and there's a way to make this happen in Webflow. If we open up the collections tab, it's basically going to need 3 collections. You'll need the pages, so a client can create a new page at any time. You'll need the page sections. These are all the modules that you'll design, whether that's image and text. And basically, inside the page, inside each page, there'll be a multi-reference field where the client can add their new sections and populate it with the correct content. Inside the page section, there's also another multi-reference field to add items. And here we're just going to nest a collection list. So that way, inside that 3 or 5 column grid, if we want them to be able to add items inside, add and remove items from each section, they'll have the section items as well. So let's just dive in and see how this would work. If we create a page, I'll create a new page right here, and I'll give this page a page name. And a lot of these fields, you can kind of set them up however you would like. An SEO description field, if you want to dynamically pull the SEO description for the page. Maybe like some hero text. And then the main image, this would be the hero image. So this is what Google pulls and Facebook and all of them pull, but it's also the main image on the page. And then I also provided a way for the client to hide or show that image. So these are just kind of the standard components that come on every page. One other field that I kind of gave access to, if we go and look at an example of a page, one other field that I did give them access to was this header color. It can be a white or dark background, and then the body color can be white or dark. So they can both be white, both be dark, or they can be light or dark. So for this example, let's just make them both light. So we don't really need a break in this example. And let's just create this and see what that looks like. So if we view the site, let's go under pages. We'll view the page that we just created, which is areas to serve. So we have the header as expected, we have the hero image, and there are no sections on this page whatsoever. So let's start by adding a few page sections. So we'll go over to our pages, areas to serve, and we'll create a new page section. Let's maybe do like an image and text side by side, start with that section. So we're going to add that section, and a good way to keep track of this if you need to go back and edit it later is just do page name, so areas to serve, and then section name will be sign up today is what we'll call this section. So then we'll just dump in some heading text, and you'll notice that all these fields are optional, so they can really put whatever they want inside each one of these fields and just kind of populate it like that. And then maybe just an image inside this as well. And there's a couple options, and I'll explain how those work. There's the option to reverse the order, so if you want the image to be on the left and the text to be on the right, or vice versa, and an option to make media wider. And that works with the image or the background video. But I'll just go ahead and create this section and save it, and let's revisit our page. So we still have this hero text, we still have this hero image, but now we have text, body copy, a button, and an image. So let's start playing with some of these options. If we go into our collections, we go into our page sections, you'll see the areas to serve sign up section we just created is there. Let's say if we remove this paragraph, and maybe let's reverse the order. So we switch the order. Now if we view this again, you'll notice the image is on the other side, the heading is there, and the paragraph text is gone, and this is here. So if we open back up that page section, areas to serve, let's make it wider. And what that is basically going to do is it's going to make it bleed off the page altogether. So it's going to be pretty wide. I'm just going to drop in a video now instead of an image so you can see that it works with both. So we'll drop in this video, we'll hit save, view the site. So now if we scroll down to the bottom of this page, you'll notice we have our video, and then we have our image, and we have our text and button, and you'll notice the video is bleeding all the way off to the edge. So this works with images or video. It works regardless of which side the image or video is on, whether it's the left or right. And clients can basically design their pages from these page sections. So let's look at another one. Let's open up the page sections, and let's remove the video this time. And you'll notice how I added an override field. So when the video's set, it overrides the image. That way the client won't have two media pieces stacked on top of each other in the same section, which could look kind of weird. So let's remove it this time. Let's even go as far as to add some paragraph text back in, and let's remove this image altogether and hit save. So now if we go back to the page and we scroll down, now we just have a big heading, paragraph text, all centered aligned, nice in the middle. Looks good. The client plugs in whatever content they have. It's great. It's good to go. What if we just wanted a wide, just a big image, no text whatsoever in this section? What we could do is basically delete all this text, and let's grab an image this time and just pop in an image. And these switches are still checked. The reverse content order, make media wider, but because there's no content for it to work with, it's just going to ignore those switches altogether as we scroll down and make one big wide image section. The same works if this was just a video. It would do the exact same thing. So it's very seamless for the client. They can add or remove sections. If we wanted to add a new section to this page altogether, so we could go under, again, our pages, our areas to serve page, and let's add a new section, and we'll just call this areas to serve, 3 columns. And then for here, we would want to use some of these column ones. So there's a title field, which is this wide scrolling title. So we can view that, and then we can add items. So this is where that nested collection list comes in handy, because we can create new items, or we can use a few that already exist. We can put them in whatever order we want. We can add up to 5, I believe, is the Webflow limit right now. And once we hit save and go back to the page, now, so we scroll down, notice we have this big image section still, but now we have this moving title, and we have these items that we added into this section. And also, if I change this title, it's going to change it inside the database. So let's see, serve today. And once I update that, you'll see all of these are updated because they're all pulling from that exact same field. So that works really nicely. And let's say that under this, we have this image section, we have this this 3-column section. Let's say under this we want to add another section. Just go back to pages, we'll go under the areas to serve and add a new section. This will be areas to serve, maybe we'll call this 2-column. And here we'll just add in, again, our heading and maybe some paragraph text. Maybe this time we won't use the button just to change things up. Maybe this time we can do an image from here. So it could be this one, it's fine. And let's reverse the order, and let's also make it wider. So that way just kind of this image hangs off the edge of the page. And then we'll hit create and hit save, and then view site. And so we'll open this up here. We got the image still, another image section, scrolling text and some items. and then another wide image and some text here. So let's talk about some of the limitations to this method. First, the first limitation I would say is that if you want to reorder these items, you cannot drag these items in Webflow to reorder. And there's a wish list vote for this now, so I definitely encourage you to vote for that if you'd find that useful. Basically, if a client wants to reorder these items, they're going to have to remove each and every one of them from here and then start adding them back in the correct order. So maybe I want the 2 column to be first, the 3 column to be second, and the big image, wide image section to be third. I have to re-add all those items from there. Another thing that would be nice is the ability to just click on this section, and it opens up that pop-up editor where you can change out some text in the section without having to leave the pages collection, go back to the pages sections, and then from here make changes. So there are some limitations, but overall it's still it's a lot more user-friendly, I would say, for some clients than having to go into the designer and figure all that out. So that's the basics of building out these kind of sections and how you can do that with multi-reference fields. For this next part, I really want to dive in and show how this is possible. So if I open up this Webflow project, I have one actually already created. And in here, I have basically all the different collections that we're going to need. So there's the pages, sections, and sections items. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the pages template, which is this dynamic page. And from here, you'll see that I have all these different, each one's inside its own section. So I'll have an image and text side by side, a wide image section, I'll have a wide text section, I'll have these 3 column sections. So all that's there, and I even have this one little spacer div because usually the height between the padding between these 2 sections equals one larger one. So for the last one, regardless of which section they put here, it'll be equal space as to the ones between it. So these are all here, but the client can't really do anything with them yet. This header text and image text is pulling from the pages, and that's just on every single page. So the first thing we're going to really want to do is drag in a collection list. And what I like to do is drop it in right underneath my hero. So the hero is right there. We want all our pages sections to start here. We want to pull that collection list from the add page sections multi-reference field. So we don't want to just grab it from the page sections itself, because then it's going to pull all page sections across the entire site. But we want to just add it from the multi-reference field. So you'll see there's 2 of them in here right now. There's the video and the plan the visit module, but they have nothing set in them. And another thing I want to do, in case the client doesn't have any multi-reference field items set, I want to go over to the empty state and kind of remove the text inside it, and also just set the height of it, the background color, all of that to hidden, just that way we can't see that if nothing's set. So our items are there. These are our sections. There's a couple different sections. There's lots of ways you can do this. You can build it all inside one section and use conditional visibility to say, when the image isn't set, hide this image entirely, center align this text. So that way it kind of builds the page for the client without the client having to choose the module type. That really only works if all your modules are pretty similar. They all have the same, maybe one image, one heading, one paragraph. But if you're building really unique modules, you may need some sort of way for the client to choose the type of module that they're going to want. So just for the sake of going a little more advanced with this tutorial, I'll show you how to do that. So we'll plan for these modules. Image and text combo, one big image, just text, and then 3 columns is our different types of modules. So in the pages sections, I'll hit the setting gear and I'll create a drop-down list where the client is going to have to choose what type of module they want to add. So here it will be, we'll call it something like select module type, and from here we'll add our different possibilities. So it would be text plus image would be one, just image would be another, just text would be another, and then 3 column would be the last one. And we'll make this required so they have to choose a type if they're creating a new section. So we'll hit save. And then from here, basically each one of these sections that I designed needs to get dropped inside this collection item. So I'll basically take this section, drop it in the collection item, take this section, drop that in the collection item, this one, drop it in, and I'm just dropping them all in, one under the other. All the different possibilities that we could have are right here. So they're all in, and now I should have duplicates because there's 2 items in this wrapper. The second one also has all these items. So from here, I just really need to start linking things up. So I'll get this image from this image here, and the image wasn't set, so it disappeared in this case. I'll get the heading from the section heading name. I'll get the paragraph text. And the great thing about text is if it isn't set, it's just going to hide for you. Get the paragraph text from the field, so that one wasn't set, obviously. Get the link text and URL. So this will go from button URL, and then this link text will go from button text. And that one obviously wasn't set either. Get the image and just basically go through this process of kind of linking all your different possibilities, all of them up. So this first section is the image and text side by side, and what we're going to do is we're going to use conditional visibility to only show this section if select module type equals image plus text. So hit save and we're done. This next section right here is just the wide image with nothing else, so we're going to use same process. So it would be select module type, and this time it's going to be equals image. And then this one's just the wide text section, so select module type from here needs to just equal text. And this last one is 3 column. So for the 3 column one, we're really going to want a multi-reference field. So from here, we'll add in another collection list. And we'll go through the exact same process of linking. So this time we want to link only to the add items multi-reference field. So there's a multi-reference field inside page sections that that allows us to add these items right here. So we only want to pull those items. So we add the items, the empty state, we want to delete the text, we want to set it to hidden, that way we can't see it if these aren't set. And then I'm just going to apply some classes that I already had set up, like the 3 column list and 3 column item. So to this collection list, I'll just add C3 column list, and then to this collection item. Alright, so that's set, and then I just want to drop in this text inside the item, and I want to drop in this paragraph inside. And from here, I can just delete this old list. So that's looking pretty good. I would obviously get these from the actual item name, which is here, and get this from the actual item paragraph, which is right there. And then this entire section should only show up, we'll add conditional visibility here, if the select module type option equals 3 column. So now it's hidden. So that's pretty much everything. It looks like I got one more here. I think this was just, that's my spacer section, so that doesn't really need to be inside the collection item because I'm not trying to create a new one for each item, so it can be right above the footer. So yeah, that looks pretty good. So from here, now anytime we add to any page, let's just create a new page, and we'll call this just test page, and we'll just throw in, I don't know, some filler text for everything, and throw in an image, and grab the header color, body color, and then so if we were going to create a new page section, let's add a new one, and we'll call this test page slash section 1. So for the heading, let's just drop in, let's make this a wide text section. So this will be heading, paragraph, and maybe some button text. And then we need to set the module type to be just the wide text section. Hit create, and let's create this page. So if we go over to the page, we got our hero photo and text, then we have our wide section, and it looks like I still need to link some of this up. So I need to link this to the, this would be to the heading, and then this one here would be linked to the paragraph field, which would be right about there. And then this one, obviously link it all up to the button URL. Maybe that one opens in a new page, and link this up to the button text. So yeah, that's our first section, but let's say we want this to be an image and text instead. All we'd have to do is go over to the test page, actually to the page sections, to the test page section, and we'll upload an image this time. And then let's switch this from just a text section to a text plus image section, and hit save, and we'll go back, and then voila, just like that, it's linked up, it all looks good, and we have our image and text. So from here, from this pages sections, they can choose the type of module they want. They can also add in some items and make this a 3-column section instead, and we'll just switch that over, and it's going to plop in that 3-1 right there. So yeah, that's everything for building modules, allowing the client to choose the type of modules they want, allowing the client to put those modules in any order on the page. I hope this was helpful.